The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world to recover our natural health, regain our rights and our freedoms. I'm Nico Haan. I have a special guest here, Stephen Klein, co-founder of the Healthy Fit Club. And it's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. It's 73 degrees, a little drier than we've been having, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was away from
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about that in a second here. If you have any questions, comments for the show, you can reach me at nico@tfnn.com. And even though Paige is away, you can always reach her at paige@tfnn.com. And we're also taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. Stephen, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Co-founder of the Healthy Fit Club. So when did this Healthy Fit Club start?
Well, it's been in the making for about a year.
Yeah.
And we finally got all our pieces put together with some tremendous, not only supplementation, water filtration, infrared sauna technology, some really great stuff that we've launched and gone to market with. And on top of that, our mission is to share accurate information, kind of like what you guys do here, and grant people access to stuff that's going to help them reach their fitness and wellness goals.
Yeah, and Living a Primal Lifestyle is on there every show, so
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. So how did this concept come about?
It's an interesting story. I had always been really frustrated my whole life when I saw people that were motivated to get healthy, you know, running 100 miles an hour, but using information that was thrust upon them by big corporations or marketing companies, giving them a very small, narrow window of being successful with their venture because of the information that they were following.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of create a company that would be a hub to allow people to get access to the information that's going to help them get their wellness goals, whether they're a vegan or somebody that's living a primal lifestyle, to get the right information, not just reach out with the stuff that's mass marketed, because so little of that is the real deal. Most of it is profit-based information from somebody that's trying to just
That's
make
our
a nickel
biggest
on
problem here, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
for sure. So let me ask you a little bit about your background. So have you always been a guy who's been conscious of his health, or when did this start?
I've always been a health and wellness guy. I was in the industry as a personal trainer and a gym manager in the 90s, and got out of that, got into sales and things like that, but I was always very conscious, avid learner, researcher of whatever was on the cutting edge or whatever was going to make me healthy. And of course, I went through some of the stages of being a sugar burner, eating every 3 hours, 5-6 meals a day, before I educated myself on what I consider to be the proper way to eat and fuel my body as a fat burner, what you preach and what they preach here on Living a Primal Lifestyle.
So you kind of embraced the paleo style when it came out, and that really started happening about 2005, 2006 was when I first got wind of it. Was really 2008, I think, when I started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and I didn't adopt it until years later.
Okay.
So I was aware of it, but did not.
So basically, before that time, what was your diet like?
It was more of a mix of complex carbohydrates, high-quality proteins, low fat, like what most Americans are still kind of stuck on, and you know, timing my meals based on an alarm going off more so than whether I was hungry or not. But I certainly still had the ups and downs of the blood sugar deal, the jitters, that kind of stuff, and was not. I mean, the way that I feel now, I mean, I hardly ever feel hungry.
Yeah, I know. That's a pretty liberating thing, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a whole different feeling. That's what happened when I changed, too. It was almost immediate. Within a few weeks, I said, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. And we are starting to get really good documentation now from the experiments, the research that people are doing, saying that exactly that you don't get hungry, that all of a sudden the little ailments that seem to bother you on a maybe seasonal basis stop appearing, or a lot less, they don't show up as quite as much, maybe on a lower level. At least that's what I've found. Mm-hmm. So you've had this going for about a year. So is there a big launch coming up here on this? Or?
Yeah, we're at the stage now. We're really, really excited. We've got what we consider to be the best water filtration on the planet that we're launching in the form of a pitcher and in the form of a countertop unit that I was always frustrated with the water that I was consuming, and I'd even gone to Paige and said, Paige, what can I do for my water? And then through a lot of serendipity, we were able to partner with a gentleman who came to us because of the marketing prowess that one of our business partners has and some other things we were doing. So we're really excited about that. We have a fitness line called Body Core we're in the process of launching in the next couple of weeks, and our Healthy Fit Labs products that are more mainstream wellness products as well.
Cool. Cool. Now, you were telling me just before we got on the air that you were gone for last week, and you went to the Burning Man in Nevada. So.
Yeah, it's not really easy to describe what Burning Man is. I had a lot of people tell me about it, but it's over a week-long experience in an area they call Black Rock City, but it's in the middle of the desert, so it only exists while the event is going on. And it's just an absolutely amazing experience with people that form a community that's kind of self-sustaining. There's no commerce. Everybody treats everybody the same. There's no social stratification. Mm-hmm. But everybody's absolutely incredibly authentic, 100% pure who they are, expressing themselves 100%, and all about love, community, self-sustaining community, and gifting. Never experienced anything like it, and I don't know that I could explain it, but it was just the people that I met there were some of the best connections that I've made in my entire life, and I've connected with some amazing people. So.
Yeah. Well, the history of the Burning Man, folks, is it goes back to 1986 in San Francisco when a group of friends got together, Lee Harvey, John Law, Jerry James Scott, called the Hammer, Scott Musi, I guess it is, called the Hammer, and Jerry James. And this started with just a basic bonfire, and I guess they moved to the desert later on because of so many people were coming. Yeah. But I have a friend of mine in jiu-jitsu that went last year, and he said it was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen, too.
Yeah.
So here we have thousands and thousands of people meeting in the desert where there is basically nothing. A small little town there, but it's not. It's an old town, right? It's like a ghost town almost. Or
well, going into Black Rock City, you pass through Gerlach. It's a very, very, very small little town, and then when you get into Black Rock City, all it is the desert. After it's over, after the event is over, and people are there for 30 days, removing the remnants, there literally is nothing but sand. There is no town.
Yeah, everybody takes their garbage out. You were saying
you have to take your garbage with you. You can't dispose of anything there. And this year there were roughly 70,000 people there.
Wow.
So it's gotten...
So this is kind of like the old days of like the rock concerts in a way and they do have music there too, I would assume, right?
So there were a lot of people that follow big music festivals around regularly, and then there's a lot more to it than just that. People that just do that are blown away about what...
Okay, we'll continue with this then. We have Stephen Klein here, co-founder of the Healthy Fit Club with me here. The number here is 877-927-6648. We've got a lot more. Stick around, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here, or Nico and Stephen. Actually, Paige is on assignment. She went to a Qigong, I think. And aren't you guys going at the end of the month to Bulletproof?
Yeah, the 23rd to the 25th in Pasadena, California.
So that's looking forward to that. And you were telling me earlier that you were camped out with Dave Osprey there at the Burning Man.
Yeah, so there are different camps, different themes, that kind of thing. And he headed up the biohack camp.
Biohack.
So we had some phenomenal people in our camp, and it was pretty exciting. He had they have art cars that will drive around and do certain things, and he had his car that says 100% grass-fed butter along the bottom, and then a coffee cup on top that you sit in and be able to drive around and give out bulletproof coffee.
Yeah, and there was a live feed, and I'm sure there's a lot of video on YouTube if anybody wants to see all those different things that are happening at Burning Man, and probably experience of a lifetime what the folks are saying about going to something like that.
Yeah, like my interesting takeaway I had, most people say, oh, it was great because I saw the world-renowned DJ Skrillex was there, or I saw this show. For me, what was really amazing was I thought about all the times when I thought about approaching somebody and I had the voice in my head going, I wonder what I'm going to say to them. I wonder what they'll say back. And being in an environment where you know you're 100% certain that anybody you go approach is going to greet you with 100% joy, acceptance, love. It's a great ground to practice just getting to know people that are complete strangers, which hasn't been the easiest thing in my lifetime.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because when my wife and I go to parties, we often talk later on about our experience. And I remember one time we went to this party down south with some friends, and we really didn't know anybody there except the friends. And nobody asked my wife or myself what we did or where we are. It was always us asking the questions. Right. And that's really, you were in sales, and I was in sales for most of my life. So questions come easy because that's what we learn, how to control conversations. But it's a lot of things is astounding. People love to talk about themselves, but very few are really engaged in a conversation about things that you're interested in.
Right.
So Burning Man was a different experience that way, more like a tribal situation maybe.
It's mind-boggling. It's like you go and then you're part of this, tribe or membership thing where everybody just welcomes you. So it's...
Now, how about the eating there? Did everybody just bring their own food?
Yeah, everybody brings their own food, and of course, with the biohack camp, it was interesting to see people breaking out grass-fed steaks and all this phenomenal food, and we brought our own stuff. So that part, it's fairly self-sustaining, but you go certain places and they pass things out. It's part of the gifting that they do for their camp. But yeah, you pretty much are responsible for bringing.
So I would assume there was a lot of community eating there.
Yeah, we and not like an entire camp. So I guess a lot of people did do that, but our RV, we would, we go, hey, let's all eat.
Right.
Prepare food.
Well, that's what I mean. Community can be very small. It can be 6
So,
or 8 people, and it could be 2 or 3 people, in fact. But.
Yeah, which we'd have 4 to 8 people would get together and eat together. Absolutely.
Yeah, I always think that the community of the future is going back to the past, is community eating.
Right.
And of course, we do that now in our modern world, going to restaurants.
Right.
So,
exactly.
One thing I see things changing. Of course, we were out in California a couple of months back, and we noticed everybody was serving grass-fed beef. Everybody was having things like, different things like even the bone marrow that I had never seen before, and all of a sudden they give you a half a bone with the marrow in it, spiced up a little bit, and they slurp it down, and you feel so good. And my birthday is coming up on Monday, and Saturday night my wife.
Birthday.
Oh, thank you. We're going to go out to dinner, and I was looking, and so I just Googled St. Petersburg grass-fed beef and found a few restaurants and picked one of those. And on the menu there was, in one of those choices, bone marrow again. So things are changing here, and when you start seeking out things, it really just changes from the bottom instead of from the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And no surprise that California gets a head start on that.
They seem to be ahead of the curve in that type of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So how did you get tickets to Burning Man? Because I hear that's one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I had gone to the Bulletproof Conference. Last year was at the end of October, and I had connected Dave Asprey with a gentleman with a really cool, innovative solution for biodensity that increases bone density and muscle fiber density. He loved it, so the biodensity guy gave me a couple of tickets, and I can't remember through that connection, I got a couple more. So one of the people that I took with me to the event is one of my really good friends. We call Fernando from Orlando, and he had been to Burning Man 6 years in a row, absolutely loves it. He's into health and wellness, but he's always networking for fun stuff. So while we're at the conference, everybody's networking for business. Fernando's networking for fun. He calls me like 90 days later, and he's like, hey, I'm going to Burning Man again. And by the way, I met the guy that runs Dave Asprey's Burning Man camp, and so we're going to be camping next to Camp Biocamp.
Very cool.
And he invites me, and I already wanted to go.
Yeah.
So to get away for that many days made it a lot easier to appease my business partners by telling them I'm going to be in the proximity of Dave Asprey and a lot of other biohackers and health and wellness guys instead of just random people. So it was phenomenal.
So were people, of course there were bands there playing most of the time? Is that it was 24 hours a day? What's the deal?
Pretty much, and not only bands, like you had world-class DJs that were performing on these art cars, which are mobile vehicles that some of them, there's one called the Mayan Warrior that's $1 million art car. It's an entire club basically on wheels. You go out in the middle of the desert and you're watching this, it could be 4 in the morning, and then that's just one speck of the things that are going on the playa, so to speak. So it's mesmerizing. I mean, the first 2 days I was out there, I was just kind of taking it in and trying to go, where am I? What is going on? And just head spinning.
So what's the most unusual thing you saw there?
One thing that's kind of interesting is people are wearing these outrageous costumes, almost like it's Halloween every day. So just being mesmerized by everything people are wearing, the art cars that are there, the burning of some of the different art pieces, including the man, which is kind of your center.
The center of the whole thing. Yeah,
and that's how you kind of can coordinate. There's a semicircle that goes from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. where all the camps are, and then you have the playa where there's the Burning Man, and behind that a temple, and then there's some pyramids, and they burn all those things down. So just the magnitude of this stuff and the artwork and the people that spend months putting this stuff together.
Yeah, the whole year probably.
And then it's poof, it's gone. It's just.
So they burn all the art.
Well, they don't burn all of the art, but they burn the pyramids, they burn the temple, they burn the man, and several other things.
So do they do that at the end of the?
Yeah, like they burn the pyramids at 6 in the morning on Thursday morning, and then they burn the man Saturday night. They burn the temple I'm sorry, they burned the Monday night. And then some of the art they keep, and people will bring back their art cars to run around and gift things or show things or exhibit things. It's just, it's like I said, it's really hard to explain what Burning Man is about. But like you said, you can go on YouTube and look at some documentary videos.
Yeah, I was watching the live feed for a little while. It's just definitely something going on all the time. So what kind of gifting was going on there? What are people giving away?
It could be anything. Like we were walking down this one street, and there was a camp called Greeters, and they would have somebody get on a massage table, and 12 people would massage that one person all at the same time. That's gifting something.
That's great. Folks, stick around. We got a lot more of this, and please pick up some Primal Edge, our daily supplement. Something that's really going to keep you healthy, and also pick up my Health Signals newsletter. You have the marijuana issue, all about marijuana, lots of links in there. So we'll be right back.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back, folks. I'm here with Stephen Klein, the co-founder of the Healthy Fit Club. Talk a little bit about the Burning Man and things I noticed. There's a grid street structure that they put in effect. They put a speed limit of 5 miles an hour. A ban on driving except for certain vehicles. They have safety standards on the different types of vehicles that people are building. You can burn your own art, but you have to have an approved burn platform. There's a ban on fireworks and no dogs allowed. So how the heck did you get around there?
Most people have bicycles that
Okay.
they would bring, and you wouldn't want to bring like your $1,500 road bike or mountain bike because they're
Maybe
gonna
a beach bike or
They're going to
something.
get trashed, like
Okay.
beach cruisers or things like that. And it's fairly common to either get a blow out of a tire or whatever. I think there were 2 people in my camp of 8, just the 2 RVs, not the full camp, that had issues with their bike. Me being one of them, where I blew a tire at like 5:30 in the morning. And,
Where do you get that fixed
The
then?
bike wouldn't even roll, so I
Really?
had to carry it back like 45 minutes back to camp, and then try to look and see where the bike repair places were. So next morning, I carried it at 10 in the morning to this one intersection where I thought the bike repair was, and we're going to cross these 2 guys, and I'm asking them, hey, where's where this Playa bike repair is? And the one guy goes, well, I wish I was at my camp, but it's 30 minutes away. I've got all the tools to do it. And I go, well, that doesn't really help me. And the other guy goes, well, maybe it's right there where that huge bike sculpture is. Yeah, that's probably it. So I carry it over there, fix my bike, and I start to pull out my debit card, and the guy's laughing. I'm like, what? I don't understand. He goes, oh, there's no commerce here. You know, hey, have a great day. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
You know?
that's truly like the old tribal system. No money.
Right.
You have to give it away. That's the only
Right.
thing you can do. I think that changes your personality when people have to give you stuff in order for you to do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really
You know,
really
if
interesting.
you're going to be obnoxious, people are not going to give you anything. I mean, that's just the way it works. I mean, that's kind of a self thing. So let's switch over to the food again. So when you started on this paleo diet, so to speak, what turned it around for you? What were you reading? Who were you listening to?
Dave Asprey was one. Abel James, Mark Sisson has
Mark
probably
Sisson.
been the biggest influence because of the
books.
where he came from, how he shifted,
Yeah.
the difference it made in not only his workouts, his performance, that kind of thing. And I really like. He's been a really great role model. He happens to be speaking at the Bulletproof Conference.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until recently.
Yeah.
But he's on the panel, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, probably him, and it just the way that I felt after, like you said, adopting that way of eating made a huge difference, in a lot of areas.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it was Mark Sisson was the first book I'd ever read about it,
Oh, wow.
and it made kind of sense, the grok and going back and, figuring out, okay, before agriculture, before we really started using animals in the way we use them now, we were kind of just getting things from the wild.
Right.
You don't milk a wild cow. In fact, there is no such thing as a wild cow. It's some different kind of animal completely, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, it switched for me. It took me a couple of years to really get the idea of the fat. And that was Nora Gagatas that turned it for me. And she was saying, it's the fat, it's the fat. And her story about being up in northern Canada, really on Baffin Island, researching wolves, and her craving for grass-fed butter. And that's what she went out there and she ate butter all day long and started losing weight like crazy. And she goes, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And that then her whole thing about why the butter is so good and why we need these fuels and why our ancestors really discarded a lot of the muscle meat and really went for the organs and went for the fat. And if they were being hassled after they killed something and they had to leave, they'd carry out that fat and everything else would be left.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, now that I think back, it was the book Primal Body, Primal Mind was the first book
That was
that I read.
Nora's book.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, Paige was borrowing that to review some things just recently. But yeah, that's probably the book, and that was probably a year ahead of anything else that I read about
Yeah.
that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's the liberating feeling of not being hungry that just pulled me over the edge and says, we're onto something here. And then I really realized that all the stuff that the companies and the government was telling us was completely wrong. And that's what got my passion for the research of digging in deeper and deeper and listening to guys like Abel James and Ben Greenfield and Mark Sisson. Of course, all these people have podcasts. All these people go to all these different conferences, whether it's the Ancestral Conference or the Bulletproof Conference or just a paleo type of event. I listen to everything I can about that, and it really does educate me, and I think it keeps me going in the right direction every day.
Right.
So as far as exercise is concerned, you were a personal trainer, and you were probably doing the same things I was in the 80s and 90s. I was a runner.
Okay.
and ran a couple marathons, ran lots of long distance, ran just about every day, doing, normally 25, 30 miles a week. And when I was in training, I was doing up to 50 miles a week. Then one day, it just started getting harder and harder. My knee started bothering me. I kind of switched over to barefoot running, which straightened out the knee problem, which was another thing that goes, whoa, wait a minute. You mean Mr. Nike was wrong about the wedge underneath your feet, making you strike the heel like we do in walking, but not in running.
Right.
So that was really something for me, saying, geez, I've been torquing my knee. And when you see the picture of that heel strike under power and then your knee turning in and turning back out again and making these movements that we never would have done it.
Right.
And that's when I started, I bought a little mini tramp, as a matter of fact, at that time. You ever use one of those?
I have. And the biggest challenge to moving towards barefoot or minimal running is strengthening the ankles and doing the exercises you need to do. So many people hear about barefoot running and they just jump into it and they get other types of injuries.
You almost have to start over completely. I started with doing just half a mile. And even that bothered me. I had to really stretch that Achilles out. And the calf muscle, the lower calf especially, was tightening up a lot more. And I go, whoa, well, this is not working for me. Until I realized that, the body mechanics changed. And there's a lot of illustrations of those types of facts. I have a friend of mine who had some back surgery. And he was a surgeon all his life, so he was always hunching over. Yeah. And back problems, and he had some surgery. And all of a sudden, his change in posture created another problem in a different part of his body. So he went from one thing being corrected, and then the posture changes, and now he's walking completely different, and now something else is hurting because it's not used to moving. Right. So we get in all kinds of problems that way. So what kind of activity are you, when you go do your workout, what do you do now?
I get at least a couple of days a week, usually 3 days of resistance training, but I keep it brief. I get my stuff done, safe, effective. Usually body weight exercises at this point, not in the gym trying to throw around a lot of weight. Yeah. I don't think that's, I'm not looking to walk on with the Dallas Cowboys or anything at age 48. So try to get a sprint workout in once a week and then a couple of yoga classes as well. I think flexibility and that type of movement is really beneficial as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing good about the Primal lifestyle type of exercise. It's just as liberating as the food is because you're doing things a lot shorter. You get it over with. You don't worry about it too much. And if you skip a workout, it's not one of these things that says, geez, I missed, and what am I doing to myself?
You don't beat yourself up.
Exactly.
You just go, okay, another rest day. I'm healthier.
Folks, pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I got the brand new issue out right now, and it's only $10 a month. You get 2 issues on the month on the first and third Tuesday of every month. So pick that up, please. We'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And welcome back. I'm here with Stephen Klein, co-founder of the Healthy Fit Club. And we're talking about exercise, and you switched up your exercise. Were you a runner at all?
No, being an ectomorph and being really small bone, and I didn't mention I had a really horrific accident in 2002 where I lost like 35 pounds from this weight.
Wow.
Always had a concern about, I didn't want to be really, 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 really thin. So I didn't do a ton of cardio stuff for that reason, but I did overtrain with resistance training, no question.
Yeah.
And when I made that switch, I backed way off of that. I got better results, more rest, flexibility improved, all kind of other things. So.
Yeah, and talking about rest, that's one of the most important things about the primal type of movement, is that we recognize in our modern world, because of the jobs that we may hold and then all the different schedules that we have, it seems like we're constantly going from one thing to another. It's never a time to sit still.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and I find that more stressful a lot of times when I have so much to do and it's all on my plate and I've got it all organized, but it's still there in the back of your mind going from one thing to the next thing. And that's really part of our modern world. We don't, sometimes we even feel guilty if we take that afternoon off and just kind of relax.
Yeah, and I try to make it a point to literally stand up, walk around for at least one part every 30 minutes or so. And along the same time that I started with this kind of a primal lifestyle and the way that I eat and work out, I also made it a point to stand up a lot more. I mean, I've got a standing desk, and I try to figure out ways to be more upright than sitting as much as I can as well.
Yeah, I know when I was always on the road selling, I'd be going up and down as many stairs as possible, parking farther away from things. Even now, when I go to the mall, my wife and I park at the end of the parking lot where nobody parks, and we walk.
Right.
Just to get that little bit extra, and it's a kind of a little quiet time in a sense. You're walking and conversing a little bit, but not much is going on, and I kind of like that. I remember one of the joys I always had when I was a kid. I was living in London, Canada, walking everywhere. Once in a while taking the bus, but I remember walking all the way across town to see a girl I was dating or meet my buddy someplace. So we were always walking, and if I wasn't walking, I was probably hitchhiking. That was the old days when you could actually hitchhike. Yeah,
and I had just moved recently to downtown St. Pete area from the Tampa area, and there's just, anytime you're in Tampa, you pretty much have to be in your car. One thing I really enjoy about downtown St. Pete is it's a wonderful walking area, or a bike or whatever. And there's a lot more scenery and a lot more nature. But
I'll tell you, the downtown St. Pete is one of those areas in the country that is changing so much, and people are really moving in and not buying cars, and you're walking around. There's a lot of things that you do. Something is making a clicking sound. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's your necklace, I think.
Oh.
Here, let me do that for you. There we go.
Whoops.
Solving problems every day.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Our producer was doing that. Okay, where were we? So we're on really
Pete, moving around, enjoying the
enjoying
lifestyle.
life. Yeah, being more at ease, being a man of leisure, perhaps a little bit more. Boy, Wish I could say that all the time as managed leisure. I'm taking in jiu-jitsu. I was last few weeks in jiu-jitsu has been very rough. I've been kind of injured all year long with my knees, but everything started hurting on me. And no matter what I was doing, the stretching, the saunas, and everything like that, it was just getting in my brain. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that feeling like you're too scheduled. And I said, okay, time to lay it down. And I told my professor, no, for 2 weeks you won't see me. And I'm just taking it easy now and not feeling really guilty about it. Still wondering what I'm going to do this afternoon instead of going to jiu-jitsu, and I may just go over there and watch. Right. But there is a real importance to being at leisure, I think, in this modern world, because we have a lot of, the job situation. I think the jobs numbers came out this week, and whatever those things are, it shows us there's less meaningful jobs out there for people now. Mm-hmm. The millennials have a real problem because I think working at your passion is something that I've always strived for, and finally, now that I'm in my 70s, I'm doing things that I really love to do and really have a passion for everything that I'm doing now. So that's really liberating in itself. At the same time, the schedule is tough. So having days off is something that is kind of foreign, I think, just about every American.
And I know exactly how you feel. I feel like I was chasing money in whatever sales job it was, even in the genre I was in. It's this, with the Healthy Fit Club, I'd created a personal mission statement back in December of 2014. I wasn't in the health industry, health and wellness industry. I was more in the medical space. And that mission statement is now the mission statement of Healthy Fit Club. So I'm aligned for the first time in my life doing something that I really love to do, to give back, to help people in the health and wellness space.
So what is that mission statement?
So the mission statement is to share accurate health and wellness information, optimal nutrition information, and innovative solutions for peak performance, mind, body, and spirit with motivated health seekers.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
I like the, a mission statement for me was always something that identified me with a certain task. In other words, the mission statement was kind of that steering mechanism to take me forward and keep me in line with my principles and what I wanted to accomplish in my life. Mm-hmm. So I definitely had a mission statement, and really it's the entrance to the show, to explore this world on a more primal level, and still with the little gadgets and all the wonderful things that modern living gives us, and at the same time going back and discovering better food, discovering a better way to exercise, and getting me in a frame of mind more tribal, because I consider all the people here at TFNN one of my tribes. And when I go to jiu-jitsu, I consider them one of my tribes. And same with we have this little dinner club that we meet every month at a different restaurant, mostly in downtown St. Pete, but we go all over, and there's 4 couples involved. And not everybody shows up all the time, but it usually is at least 3 couples. It's next week. All of us are going to be there. It's a chance to just get around, drink some wine, have some really good food, and just chill around with your little tribe of people.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So that's what I think the modern situation is for people, to get those tribes. Really, it'd be nice if our tribe was in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. We could walk from one house to another, have a community eating center where people would cook, and then I think we'd be more in touch with our own little community, because I really don't think there's such a thing as a community of Florida, or a community even of Pinellas County, or certainly no community of 300 million people. That's not a community, because that's CNN or Fox or all these different news organizations that are giving us these things that they want to give us that are completely not real.
Right.
That's the astounding thing. That's why the politics situation is so bad, not just here in America, but all around the world, because basically we have little dictatorships, and we can call them what we want, a republic, a democracy. All of these are really dictatorships with powerful, rich people involved and controlling it. And if I was one of those powerful, rich people, I wouldn't want to let go of that either. So you can see that the pull is there for them to keep what they have.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not advocating a socialistic system where everybody's equal, because that's not realistic either. Right. I think when you're born into this world, you're born into a situation, and now you have to handle that. And how you handle it is what defines you.
Right.
So I think that's the important part. I have one more segment coming up. I'd like to remind you to pick up our Primal Edge daily supplement, something that Paige and I worked on for a long time to get right, and we believe we got it right. Also pick up my Health Signals newsletter, $10 a month, gives you 2 issues a month on the first and third Tuesday of every month. So we'll be right back.
My name is Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability and host of the Trader's Edge Show, heard daily here at TFNN.com. On Wednesday, September 14th at 5 p.m., I'll be hosting a special 1-hour event, The Ultimate Reversal Patterns. I'll teach subscribers how to identify and trade market tops and bottoms. You'll learn Tom DeMark's TD Setup, TD Sequential, and TD Combo. Plus, I'll show you how to identify Gartley buy and sell patterns, which means you'll learn how to master the D point of any A to B equals CD pattern. More importantly, I'll teach you the most powerful pattern of all, by price relative strength divergent pattern. These patterns work for stocks, for ETFs, future contracts, currencies, and these patterns work on every time frame. By signing up for Mastering Probability right now, you get the first month of my newsletter service for only $49, and that includes Wednesday's Ultimate Reversal Patterns webinar. This $49 offer is only good through September 14th, so act now. At only $49 for your first month, I guarantee this is an investment that you won't regret. For all the details of the upcoming workshop and to reserve your seat today, visit the front page of TFNN.com now.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Nico here with Stephen Klein, the co-founder of Healthy Fit Club. Paige is going to be back for the next show, which she's up in, I think, Kentucky doing a Qigong seminar. And you guys are going to the Bulletproof seminar coming up.
Conference, yeah.
Is that San Diego or?
That's Pasadena.
Pasadena.
23rd,
my old
24th.
stomping grounds.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to work in Pasadena.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's a nice little town for sure.
Yeah.
So you'll enjoy it. I always enjoy going west.
Yeah.
It's better than going east.
Yeah.
So what's the future of Healthy Fit Club here? So you're talking the biggest thing coming down the pike is water.
Water filtration, the newest, latest, greatest infrared sauna technology, which is absolutely incredible. Our fitness line of products, which will include a pre-workout, a post-workout, a hormone booster for both men and women, and then our community, the content that we're adding on the website to share that accurate health and wellness information.
Yeah.
Is
I
all
like
come
that.
along.
Those little posts, little video posts that you and Paige are doing. Very informative, and these days people like these short little snippets of 3 to 4 or 5 minutes of something. Yeah. And it's funny, I always find myself going to those types of things. When I'm looking on YouTube for things, if it's 30 minutes, I tend to, I'll wait for that till I'm in the sauna or something. I want something short and sweet. Yeah. And that's really the name of the game, and I think that's just our society turning towards those little things. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like everything is turned into a little entertainment news.
Yep. Yeah, and the other thing we'll be adding that I'm really excited about is it'll be my job to go out and interview, people that are at the top of their game in health and wellness.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be the other component that I've been looking forward to for a long time. Get to rub shoulders with some of these people, get to ask them some provocative questions that I'm curious about, and then share that information with our tribe, so to speak.
How do you get a hold of these people? Are you just looking on the internet? And
well, that's kind of my thing, is the whole networking thing. People call me the super connector, so I just love that. And it's one of those things where I'm always looking to add value before I take anything from them. So not only can we expose them to a new audience and a lot more eyes and ears, but usually I'm always looking out for them for any connection or contact I can put together that's going to help them get where they go. That's just what fulfills me in life. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I know the first time I met with you and your partner, Mark.
Yep.
And Paige, and we got to sitting around. We were actually in Carolyn's kitchen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sitting around eating and chatting. And that's what really drew me to you guys. You were putting it all on the table. Is, look, we want to share information. And of course, that's the tribal concept for me. Is let's share information, let's give each other things, and we'll all make money later on down the road.
Sure.
And I think that's a nice philosophy. So, how's your private life? Anything happening in your private life that's coming up? Are you single?
I am single.
Have you been single all your life, or are you?
No, I was in a 9-month relationship up until the end of June. A lot more work going on, a lot more travel taking place. So I've kind of took more time to work on myself and some of the habits and rituals that I wanted to ingrain in myself to help me move forward and to accomplish some of the goals that I'd like. But I do make time for myself to do certain things. I'm not working all the time.
No.
But everything that I'm doing, I've aligned my personal mission with my work mission, so I'm doing what I love to do, so I don't even really consider it work.
Yeah, and it seems like when you're not looking and you're at peace with yourself, that's when things kind of happen in relationships. At least for me, I was in early 90s. I had moved back to Florida, 1994 I think it was, and that's when I met my wife. I says, okay, not interested in dating. I just want to concentrate on work and getting my whole life back together here in Florida. Then all of a sudden I bumped into somebody that changed my life again, my wife, my beautiful wife, Ellen. She just is something that I never would have met if I wasn't at ease with myself, I think. So that's really cool. That's the show today, folks. Thanks a lot for sticking around. You can find Stephen on the Healthy Fit Club. Is that the healthyfitclub?
It's healthyfitclub.com.
Find them
You
there.
got it.
We'll be back next time. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.